All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be running through 30 Linux commands that any cybersecurity analyst need to know as a beginner. So let's try to do it as fast as we can. The first one I'd like to run is going to be the mkdir command, mkdir, which is for make directory. We're going to make a directory called BERITECK, just like that. Once the directory is made, we're going to make another one called mkdir, we're going to call it a test. So 2 directories. Next command we want us to run is going to be the ls command, which is to list directories. You can list directories like this. Those are the 2 directories that we just made. In other words, they're also called folders. You can also decide to list as a long list like ls -l. Now you have it in this format. That is the second command, or the second command. The third command I want us to look at is going to be the pwd command, present working directory. pwd, just like that. It will tell you where you are. Here we are root. Next command I want us to do is going to be to cd into the test. Actually, before I cd into the test directory, let's remove the test directory, just like that. And then I do an ls again. Now we have only one directory that's left. So the rmdir is the command to remove a directory. The next one is going to be cd command. How do we cd? How do we change directories? We want to change directories into the BERITECK directory. So I'm going to change that. And if I do another pwd command here, now we see I am no longer under root. Now I am under root/BERITECK. That's a cd command. The next command I want us to look at is going to be how to create a file. We can create a file with touch, and let's call it test.txt, just like that. One file has been created. Let's create another one, touch. Let's call it test2.txt, just like that. Hit enter. Let's do another list here, ls. We have a test.txt and we have a test2.txt. The next command I want us to run is going to be how do you remove a file? I will remove a file with the rm command, let's remove test.txt. Hit enter, and let's validate if it was removed with an ls command. Now we see only test2.txt is left. The next command I want us to do is to copy a command, the copy command. Let's say we want to copy that file. So I will use the cp command to copy test2.txt. Where am I trying to copy it to? I'm trying to copy it one directory up. So I'm trying to copy it to the root directory. So right now I am under /root/BERITECK, but I want to copy it under the root directory. So I will do a ... That's the destination. So if I copy that, now if I do an ls here, obviously I have just one, but if I ls, if I cd one directory up, like cd ... like that, which is the next command, how to move a directory up, is going to be that. Then if I do a pwd here, now we see I am under root. And if I do an ls in here, I should be able to see what I just copied. So I copied it from the BERITECK directory, which was here. I copied it from here, BERITECK directory, and I copied it one directory up, which is what I put it back into the BERITECK folder. Okay, so now we have test2 that has been copied into the BERITECK folder, or into the root folder. Let's go back to BERITECK folder. So I'm going to cd back to the BERITECK folder, and we continue from there. And if I do an ls in here, I should still have test2, correct? Because I just made a copy of it. So that was next command. The next one I want us to look at here is going to be the, we've seen the cp command. We've seen the cd ... which is just to navigate a directory up. Next one is going to be the move command. As a matter of fact, let me go back to the root directory. And let's validate with the pwd. I am back at root. And if I do an ls in here, I still have this file here and the folder, right? Okay, so what I want to do is I want to rename this file. So I will do the mv command, which is used to rename. and to move a file. So I'm going to rename this file to test3.txt, exactly the same file, but I'm just renaming it. How do I validate? With an ls command to list. Now test2 is no longer valid, or is no longer here. It has been renamed to test3 with the move command. I can also use the move command to move this test3 into the BERITECK folder. So I'm going to mv to move that into the test3.txt. Where am I moving it to? I am moving it to the BERITECK folder, just like that. And I hit enter. If I do ls here, test3 should be gone, correct? Now let me cd back into the BERITECK folder and see if I have a test3 in there. I do ls in here, and there we go. Test3 now is in here. It has been moved from the root directory to my BERITECK folder. So that was the move command. We've seen the cd command already. The next thing I want us to do is to run the echo command. The echo is used typically to put in some data into a file. I want to run this command here, and I want to put it into file2.txt. So let's say I want to run just cybersecurity is awesome, just something like that. Just cybersecurity is awesome. So if I run this command, cybersecurity is awesome. So I'm running echo cybersecurity is awesome, and I want to put that content into file2.txt. So once I hit that command, how do I validate? I can do a cat file2.txt to see the content of the file. So that's the next command, right? Now I can see the content of a file with the command cat. And now let's try to append some more information into that file. So what I'll do is I'll do the same echo. Cybersecurity is awesome, but instead of just saying that, I want to say cybersecurity is awesome. Let's say at BERITECK. So if I do that, what's going to happen? It's going to override everything that was already in file2. So it's going to change everything and put the new content in there. So let's hit enter on this, and let me cut the file again. If I cut the file, now we see we have new content. File2. Cybersecurity is awesome at BERITECK. Cybersecurity is awesome at BERITECK. So the same thing. But let's say I wanted to add some more stuff in there, and I can just hit the up arrow, go back to the previous command. Cybersecurity is awesome at BERITECK, and let me just add just some new stuff, like something like yeah. If I want to add that, now I'm going to use the append sign, which is this double quote. And now I am just adding this word into the file, into this file too. I am not overriding it. I'm just adding to what is already in there, correct? So once I do that, and let's validate with the cat file2 again, what do we see? We now see cybersecurity is awesome at BERITECK, and we also see the word yeah. So that's the difference. One is the redirect, which is this symbol here. Then the append is just double. You're appending to the content. Okay, the next command I want us to see here is going to be the, so we've seen the echo, we've seen the cat. Now the head command. Head command is typically used to display the first 10 lines of a file. For example, if I want to display the first 10 lines of this shadow file, if I do that, this is the command that I typed, head etc, that's the path, and it's displaying just the first 10 lines. And if I want to see the last 10 lines, I'm going to do tail etc shadow, just like that. Tail will give me the last 10 lines. If I want to see everything, of course, I would just do the cat, right? If I do cat etc shadow, it's going to give me a lot of stuff, which is the whole file, which is, you see, it's a gigantic file. It's huge with the cat command. Sometimes you want to display contents page by page. You can do a more on etc shadow, And you can do that on any file. So now you're displaying, page by page. You can just hit the space bar and then that will be it. You can also display the content of a file using less etc shadow. If I do that now, I can display it exactly the same way. And to quit from here, I'm just going to hit Q to quit. Okay, so we've seen the head, the tail, the more, and the less command. The next command I want us to look at is going to be the VI command. VI is also a command used to create a file. So either create or modify a file. So I can say VI test 4.txt. If I do that, as a matter of fact, let me just modify a file that I already created. Let me modify test 3.txt. In here, there's nothing in that file. So in order to put some content in here, I'll hit the I to insert. Then I can say you are a maybe fast learner, something like that. Full stop. Then I hit escape to get into the escape mode. Then I can do colon WQ exclamation to save the file. But obviously I need to run this as root, so it won't let me do that. So I'm going to quit from here with just Q exclamation. It should have. Okay. Anyways, so VI is used to create a file, obviously. And the next command I want us to look at here is going to be the chmod. Before we look at the chmod, I want to run another command. We saw that ls will list a file. You can do ls-l to also list the file in a long list format. You could also do ll for a long list. If you do that, it's still going to list the file in that way. And as you can see, the user here is root, and then the group is root. But what I want to do, the next command I want us to look at here is going to be the chmod, which is to change permissions. If I say chmod, for example, 666 to file 2, I want to change the permissions of file 2, and I hit enter on that. Let me go back to LL, long list. If I do that now, you're going to realize that everybody has read-write permissions, as you can see here, as opposed to the first time, just the owner had read-write permissions. You can also do a chmod with letters like plus X, for example, on file 2. Now you're giving everybody executing rights or permissions on this. If I do that and I do LL again on this, then we're going to realize that everybody can execute that file. So chmod is a command that will be used to modify permissions of a file. You can also change owners of a file. Let's do a chown to change the owners of a file. Let me change the owners of a file from root, user root, group root, to user Kali and then group Kali of the same file, file 2. Once I do that and I hit enter, let's do another LL to validate. Now we see file 2, which was this guy here, has been moved. Now the user now is Kali, or the owner of the file is Kali, and then the group is under Kali. So chown is used to change the owner of a file. You can also find certain words within a file. You can use the find command. Let's find, for example, from root let's find any file that ends with a .txt. Asterisk here means just any name that ends with a .txt. If I do that, it should display only files that ends with a .txt. So test.txt, possible encoded pattern after printed dash name. Why is it saying this? Let me do that from the root. Let me cd back and then run the command again and see. Any file that ends, there we go. So now this is everything that ends with a .txt, as you can see here. All right, good. So that was the find command. The next command I want us to look at is going to be the grep. So let's cd back into the BERITECK folder, and let's say you want to grep. Grep is a command that is used to, you can grep, for example, the word, let me say the word cyber. Grab the word cyber from file 2. Grab the word cyber from file 2. As you can see, the content was cybersecurity is awesome at BERITECK, but now you can find for a specific word. As you can see, it's highlighted in red. Grep can just grep you exactly what you need. If I needed, for example, the whole word cybersecurity, then I'll come here, modify it cybersecurity, just like that, run it again, then the whole word now is in red. So grep will be used to look for a specific command within a file. Next command I want us to look at is going to be the ps command, ps-elf. This command is used to generate files. Not generate files, sorry. This command is actually used to generate or to see the running processes of a file. As you can see here, these are all the running processes of that file. Next command I want us to look at here is going to be the top command, display real-time resource usage. Sometimes you want to see how services are being consumed, which service is consuming how much. As you can see here, we have a total memory here. That's the total memory. This is what is free. This is what is being used. As you can see here, you can see the different processes running in real time and how much they're consuming memory-wise. The top command will do that, and you can hit the escape here. Actually, you can do Control-C, yeah, to kill it. Control-C to get back your prompt. Next command I want us to look at here is going to be the SSH command. Is typically used to remote access, and the command is this: SSH. You can SSH into a user, whatever user it is, and you put in their IP address. That command right there would give you remote access, obviously if you have permissions. That's how you would use the SSH command, or you can just type in SSH and then the IP address of whichever target you're trying to get into is going to prompt you for a user and a password. That's how you would use the SSH. Next command is also the SCP command. The SCP is for secure copy. You might want to copy a file. Let's say you want to copy a file, maybe file2.txt. Where do you want to copy it to? You now have to specify whichever user you're trying to copy that into. Then you're going to put in the IP address of that location. You put in a colon, and then the path where you're trying to copy that file, this file to. So that would be the path, SCP, the file you're trying to copy, and then where you're trying to copy it to. SCP command is used for that. And sometimes you might want to like download a file from the internet. You can use wget, and then you put in where the URL of the URL of the file that you're trying to download. So that would be the wget command. So those were 30 commands that I typically use not on a daily basis, but I recommend that as a cybersecurity analyst, it's good to know. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you did enjoy this video. And if you did, and you learned something from it, please do not forget to like the video, give it a thumbs up, and definitely subscribe to the channel if you've not yet had a chance to do so. On that note, I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, you guys have a good one. All right, bye.